Hello and welcome my friends to this week's episode of Lionel's Devil May Cry Peak of Combat, making questionable decisions yet again. A new hunter has emerged out of the blue, Devil's Sword Dante, another physical DPS to rival Legend Seeker. On the very first look, it is an absolute rehash of Awakened Prince Dante's sprite, which is supposedly focused more on his melee abilities. Ha! Utter bullshit! Wait till you see what is his damn best skill. When you realize it, you put Awakened Prince, Devil's Sword and Alchemical Gambler together, you get Punishing Grey Raven Dante. See how much Peak of Combat have to do to mimic a fraction of a collapsed power.
Look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power.
Okay, enough trash talking. Is he really good enough in the current meta? Well, on the plus side, I managed to get him on the first 50-50. Meaning I will get enough resources for more copies of him in the future step up beta. Just not used to seeing old man Dante wearing a vest, man. Is he trying to act like he's in a formal occasion? His bread and butter combo is useful for small minions, since it ends with a launcher for you to continue your combo shenanigans. But really? In this economy? That is wild. You don't need no stupid combos in co-op boss or boss fights. The best method is the first 3 hits followed by a dodge and repeat it. Makes your MP regen much faster and you won't get stuck in the animation. All of you will be thinking, why aren't you charging his Sin Devil trigger bar? Little Timmy, this is a totally different method of charging unlike Awakened Prince and Alpha and Omega. You need to charge 90% of the MP bar first before each hit charges up the Sin Devil trigger bar. So the charge up is much slower compared to the other two. Once you have it up, release the Kraken! Sin Devil trigger mode. The best part is that the MP bar stays at 90%. So you just need a few more hits to max out your MP bar. Once you have it maxed, activate Judgment, the long ass animation in DMC5 where he swings around his Devil Sword like a madman. One big problem here. Do you see how stupidly long the whole animation is just to start the combo? And also how long it takes for the final hit and recovery. High modifier, yes, but this doesn't hit full screen like the Punishing Grey Raven version. So if the boss moves away, good luck having to charge the whole damn thing again. Wait a minute. He has a Devil Sword. Why the hell are you in the air shooting balls? I mean, let's face it, you can hover in the air like Magneto and shoot high damage fireballs. Are you sure you won't exploit that? And his basic 3 combo in Sin Devil trigger mode is slower than a snail trying to cross the road. Apparently the devs realize how ass the sword attacks are. So they just threw a giant bandit onto him with Umbra and say, "Kid, let's roll with that." So now your best rotation is Umbra, Judgment and Devil Burst. Coming to Devil Burst, this is charged when connecting attacks, so Judgment and Umbra helps charge this up. The nuclear bomb deals 30,000% damage, holy bloody hell. But the charger animation is so long, by the time it lands, you would have lost tons of precious time in co-op fights where you lose lots of damage. The only saving grace is that it has a large area effect, so still not too bad. And if you figured it out, there are times where Devil Burst doesn't trigger when the gauge is full. Not sure if it is a bug, gonna test it out a bit more. Let's look at some of his interesting passives. He has a self-heal based on 40% of his attack when hit at every 10 seconds. This ensures his survivability. Not mentioned anywhere, but his Devil Burst actually recovers some of his Sin Devil trigger gauge, so he stays in Sin Devil trigger mode much longer than expected. At higher grades, he has an extra AoE damage where he has dot after dealing Judgment, which is something worthwhile if you are heavily investing in him. And as he is already dealing quite a decent amount of damage, just like Awakened Prince. The biggest flaw about him, his judgment and devil burst takes way too long for it to land. I mean, it makes sense in DMC fight, since the enemies get paused and you will definitely hit them with all this nonsense. But in a game where the fights are like in MMOs, this ain't it. You lose precious seconds dealing the damage and can end up losing all the damage when the boss triggers invincibility states or phase changes. Fun and cool to use? Hell yeah! Practical remains to be seen, especially when the usual big hitters get right in on the damage almost immediately. Is he really a must pull? I mean, if you don't have Legend Seeker yet, why not? There we have it, dudes and dudettes. Thank you all for watching. Like, share and subscribe while we shall see how well our dear Devil Sword Dante will perform in co-op. So far he seems promising when I tested him against big hitters in bar. But that is only when all my judgment and devil burst lands on him. But not to spoil this nonsense, so till next time my friend, happy hunting and game on!